Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Video shows individual in handcuffs after women found dead in Scarborough home. Ago worker strike would risk full shutdown of gallery, union says. Metrolinx to ban non-certified e-bike batteries on GO trains, sources. 3 occupants from crashed vehicle fled following fatal collision that shut down SB Highway 400 OPP. Health Minister says Ontario has procured additional measles vaccines in case needed. Drugs seized during OPP trafficking investigation had estimated street value of more than $600,000, police say. Union president fires back after Doug Ford accuses them of lying to members.
These were the headlines, and let's jump right into the details.
Homicide detectives have been called in after a woman was found dead in her unit at a housing complex in Scarborough early Thursday. Toronto police were called to the complex in the area of Scarborough Golf Club Road and Kingston Road shortly after 4 a.m. for unknown trouble. Speaking with reporters, Inspector Jeff Bangold said a man in his 40s called police to say that he had caused harm to the woman. Officers arrived and found the woman with injuries. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Toronto Paramedic Services said they assessed one person but did not transport anyone. The man who called police was arrested at the scene, police said. Video obtained by Awaz News showed an individual in handcuffs that was seated on steps outside the complex. Police did not say how exactly the woman died. Bangle said the two were known to each other, but he could not speak to their exact relationship. He said neither party is being identified until police have notified the woman's next of kin. Charges will be laid depending on the evidence examined by investigators, Bangle said. Officers are currently canvassing the area to speak with potential witnesses, but they are describing the woman's death as an isolated incident. We have a lot of police officers in attendance and we will be here for some time, Bangle said. So obviously residents are waking up and just seeing a large presence of police, and to make them feel that we are aware of what's going on, we have tried to canvass the neighborhood to talk to witnesses. Metrolinx will soon be banning non-certified e-bike batteries from trains across the GO Transit network, sources confirmed to Awaz News. The transit agencies will reportedly ban all batteries that do not have a UL or CE certification, and inspections will be conducted to ensure compliance. The ban comes amid concerns over the safety of micro-mobility devices that use lithium-ion batteries. On New Year's Eve last year, an e-bike caught fire on subway car stopped at Shepherd Young Station in North York. Passengers were able to quickly evacuate the car, and Toronto fire crews were able to contain and eventually extinguish the blaze. The owner of the bike sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg said at the time that the fire was the result of a faulty lithium-ion battery pack. The Toronto Fire Service previously said that there were 55 lithium-ion batteries fires in 2023, nearly double the number recorded 1 year prior. Pegg described the issue as one of the growing concern. Last month, GO Transit riders expressed concerns over the volume of e-bikes on GO trains. Commuter Jenny's Jim shared photos on social media of a crowded bike carriage packed with the e-bikes and called the situation a disaster waiting to happen. In a statement to Awaz News at the time, Metrolinx said, staff have been in close contact with TTC and Toronto Fire Services since the e-bike fire on the subway. While Provincial Transit Agency could not confirm that it will be banning non-certified batteries, a spokesperson told Awaz News Thursday that it is actively reviewing bike policies. Our staff have been at stations and on platforms for the past several months, working to educate passengers on our bike policies and overall e-bike safety, the statement read. Any change in those policies will be communicated to customers well in advance. A strike looming over the Art Gallery of Ontario's workers get ready to hit the picket line, risking a full shutdown of the institution later this month, according to its union. Ontario Public Service Union (OPSEU) CFPO Local 535 has been at the bargaining table with management for 10 months, aiming for a contract that includes a new wage offer and addresses the issue of contracting out staff positions at the gallery. In the months-long process, the union said management has not put forward a new wage offer. If a resolution is not reached in just over a week, staffers will strike on March 25th. This follows 3 years of Bill 124, a law repealed last month that capped wage increases for public sector workers. Laura Quinn, Awaz Director of Communications, said the gallery is working hard to avoid a labor disruption and is still engaged in negotiations. We respect the bargaining process and remain hopeful that we will reach a negotiated agreement with OPSEU soon, she said. OPSEU's SEFPO Local 535 President Paul Ayers said that management has increasingly turned towards contracting out labor, relying on part-time, precarious work. It's getting harder to make a decent living as an employee of a go, he said in news release Wednesday. We keep the gallery open and the lights on. We are curators, researchers, technicians, designers, electricians, carpenters, instructors, and more. Many of us are artists in our own right. Without us, there would be no public delivery of the arts. A decade ago, a strike loomed at the Art Gallery of Ontario as the institution grappled with similar issues, which the union described at the time as fighting off employer demands for more part-time and stable work and the pervasive use of outside companies to do AGO employees' jobs. The AGO did not respond to requests for comment before publication. Health Minister Sylvia Jones said Thursday that Ontario has boosted its supply of measles vaccines amid a concerning rise in the number of cases cropping up in the province. We do have sufficient supply. We have actually procured additional vaccines if needed, Jones told reporters at an unrelated announcement in Hamilton. And again, I would ask have those conversations with your public health unit, with your local practitioner, to make sure that your vaccinations for your children and your loved ones are up to date. According to latest figures, Ontario has already seen 8 lab confirmed cases of measles so far this year, already more than the 7 which were recorded in all of 2023. 6 of cases were related to travel, but 2 occurred in kids who had not traveled at all and had no known link to a confirmed case. The highly contagious illness can produce red rashes, fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and fatigue. It can be dangerous or even fatal in some cases, according to Mayo Clinic. Nearly all cases can be prevented through vaccination. Education Minister Stephen Lecce spoke alongside Jones at the announcement. Asked whether he was concerned about school kids returning from travel over March break and potentially having picked up measles, Lecce said the Ministry of Health is taking the lead on the file and Ministry of Education is supporting their actions. Jones said all local health units participate in a program where letters are sent out to families to remind them if their child needs to catch up on vaccinations. She said while there are 8 cases so far in the population of roughly 15 million, it's still concerning. She added that provincial health officials are encouraging caregivers to double-check their kids' vaccination records to ensure that they are protected against the measles. The head of a union representing LCBO workers is firing back at Doug Ford after the Premier accused them of lying about his government's intention to privatize the Crown Corporation. Ford told reporters on Wednesday that OPSEU President J.B. Hornick was misleading and effectively lying to LCBO workers by organizing a province-wide protest the previous day to stop the sell of the LCBO. Ford then went on to say that his government would never ever sell the LCBO and said that he was calling out Hornick for suggesting otherwise. But in a statement issued on Thursday, Hornick took issue with Ford's interpretation of their union's position and accused the Premier of lying to Ontario about LCBO privatization. Ford announced late last year that up to 8,500 new stores will be allowed to sell alcohol by 2026, including convenience and big box stores. But on Wednesday, he suggested that there will also be a place for the LCBO, including as the exclusive wholesaler of spirits in the province. In the release issued on Thursday, Hornick offered several examples of ways in which the Ford government continues to privatize the LCBO, including the use of third-party warehouses and the contracting out of the LCBO specialty order service. They also said that online order fulfillment, which used to be performed by LCBO employees, is now contracted out to a third party. The Ford government has not previously hinted at selling the LCBO and has said that its changes to alcohol sales in the province are intended to give consumers more choice. All southbound lanes of Highway 400 have now reopened at Finch Avenue following a fatal multi-vehicle collision which occurred on the busy highway early this morning. The three-vehicle collision happened near the Highway 401 split around 5:10 a.m. Ontario Provincial Police said a BMW was traveling at a high rate of speed when it struck the rear of a box truck. One other passenger vehicle was involved, but police did not say how. One adult was pronounced dead at the scene, Toronto Paramedic Services said. No other injuries were reported. OPP said the person who died was in the BMW. 3 other people who were in the car fled on foot after the crash, police said. Anyone with information pertaining to this investigation is encouraged to reach out to Toronto OPP. OPP said in a post on Twitter. All southbound lanes of Highway 400 were closed between Finch Avenue and Highway 401 for most of the morning as OPP investigated the deadly collision. They reopened around 11:20 a.m. Ontario Provincial Police say 9 people are in custody after $629,000 in illicit drugs was seized during a multi-jurisdictional drug trafficking investigation. The investigation, police said, began in October 2023 after officers learned of individuals trafficking drugs from the Toronto area to London, Ontario, and various parts of Western Ontario. The investigation revealed that the individuals had also been trafficking illicit drugs to the Thunder Bay area, police said in a news release issued Thursday. Search warrants were subsequently executed at 7 residences in Thunder Bay, London, Mississauga, and Vaughan. According to police, more than 3.2 kilograms of cocaine was seized during the searches, along with 1.3 kilograms of powdered fentanyl, 135 grams of methamphetamine, nearly 10 grams of MDMA, as well as a significant quantity of oxycodone and hydromorphone capsules and tablets. Police said 3 loaded handguns, counterfeit currency, brass knuckles, and more than $210,000 in Canadian currency was also seized. 9 suspects now face a combined 63 charges in connection with the investigation, police said.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.